Okay. So next part of our program is Sunday Feast lecture. Today's class will be given by His Grace Kamala Naayana Prabhu. Prabhu is very well known to our congregation. Prabhu does not require any introduction, but it's our pleasure to glorify devotees. Prabhu takes care of monthly donation program, Sunday Feast, car parking, and he also takes classes for the beginners batch on Friday, and Prabhu does book distribution as well. Also participate many other temple services. He never says no for any temple service. With that, we will welcome Prabhu by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. Over to you, Kamala Naayana Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Will you be able to hear me, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, we are able to hear you.
Can you make me co-host, Prabhu?
Prabhu. Prabhu, you are co-host now.
Okay, Prabhu. I'll share my screen, Prabhu.
Sure.
Are you able to see my screen, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Satyarupa Gauranga Prabhu, for your kind introduction. I'm not qualified for that. Thank you so much. I'll start with my prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna devotees. I would like to thank Satisara Prabhu, Jayasupatra Mataji for giving me this opportunity. Today we are going to see the chapter, from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verses 12 and 13. I will recite the sloka. Arjuna Uvacha Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusam Saswatam Divyam Adidevam Aham Vibhum. The another verse, it comes together. Ahustavam Rishaya Sarve Devas Naradastata Asito Tevala Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Pravisimi. Anyone wants to recite this sloka? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Please go ahead.
Can I try?
Yes, Mataji.
Arjuna Uvacha Parabrahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum Ahustvam Rishyaha Sarve Devashe Naradhastatha Asito Devalo Vyasaha Swayam Chaiva Bhavisi Me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Shall I recite?
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Arjuna Uvacha Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Vibhum Hahustvam Rushaya Sarve Devarshir Naradasthata Asito Devalo Vyasaha Swayam Chaiva Bravisi Me. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Arjuna uvacha param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam aridevam vibhum ahastvam hrishaya sarve devarshirnaradasthata asito devalo vyasah swayam chaiva bravisi me.
Thank you, Samanvita. I'll read the translation. Arjuna said, "You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself declaring it to me. I'll offer my prayer to Guru. Om Akyana Timirandasya Yanandana Salakaya Saksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Hare Krishna, devotees. This is such a beautiful verse. The verse, two verses go together, but we will see the first verse in very detail. If we have time, we will see the second verse also. The verse, this verse is actually, spoken by Arjuna, but we need to understand why Arjuna, speaking this verse, first of all. What is the background of this? We will see the background first, and then, we will come to this verse. Before this verse, there are 4 verses. We will go a little behind. 4 verses, like, 10.8 to 10.11. 10.8, 9, 10, 11. Those 4 verses, are called Chatur Shloki verses. Those verses spoken by Supreme Lord Krishna to Arjuna. So we will see what those verses of that, what Krishna is saying to Arjuna, and Arjuna is replying in this verse 10.12 and 13 to Krishna. First, we will see what Krishna said. Then it is easy to understand the Arjuna's reply also. In the verse 10.8, the Krishna is saying that, Krishna is establishing he is the Supreme Lord. Like how he is establishing, he says that, I am the origin of all spiritual and material worlds. A few weeks back, Sarveshri and I talked about that 10.8 verse in detail. We saw that, how Krishna, all the, incarnations from Krishna, avatars came from Krishna, and also from Mahavishnu, how this material body, material universes, and, all the planets and everything came. So we saw that in very detail. So that particular verse, Krishna establishing that, I am the origin of everything. I am the source. I am the cause of all the causes. This is what he said to Arjuna in 10.8. In 10.9, okay, I am the source of everything. So when one devotee, surrenders, if he is a pure devotee, one who understands that Krishna is the origin of everything, source of everything, he is the cause of all the causes. If he understands, then he becomes the pure devotee. So in 10.9, Krishna says, what I am expecting from the pure devotees. This is what he says. Thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Life fully devoted to my service. They derive great satisfaction and bliss, always conversing about me. So that means what? In 10.9, Krishna clearly says that, whoever understands that I am the Supreme Lord, they always talk about me. They always think about me. They always want to gain knowledge about me. Those are the person is called pure devotee. That's what Krishna says here. Okay. When a pure devotee always think about Krishna, always gain knowledge about Krishna, everything does that, what Krishna reciprocates. So when you do all these things, Krishna says that, I will reciprocate. The reciprocation is said in 10.10. That is the verse 10.10. So Krishna says, when one become a pure devotee of Lord, Krishna gives us the required knowledge, required intelligence. So by using that intelligence, we will go back to Krishna. So the activities of pure devotees always attract Krishna's mercies, who also guides a devotee back to Godhead. So in the 10.10, he clearly says that, if you are always talking about me, always thinking about me, always doing the service for me, I will, in the reciprocation, I will give you back intelligence. What kind of intelligence? It's a material intelligence? No, absolutely not. Krishna gives spiritual intelligence. By using that intelligence, you can always go back to Krishna. That's what Krishna says in 10.10. If you are using that intelligence, you will come back to me. That's clearly Krishna says that there. So when you are doing the service for Krishna and Krishna is reciprocating. So that's the thing in the 10.10. Krishna says. In 10.11, what Krishna goes one step further. Krishna says, I will give special mercy. And for the devotees, who does service for me, who always thinks about me, the pure devotees, I give the special mercy. How he gives the special mercy? He destroys all the impediments and dispels any ignorance in the heart with the shining lamp of knowledge. So Krishna clearly says here in 10.11, he says that, so when you become a pure devotee, I will destroy all your impediments. And also, if you have any ignorance in your heart, I will destroy that also with the shining lamp of knowledge. So this is what the Krishna says from 10.8 to 10.11. Arjuna patiently hears all these things from Krishna, all the 4 verses, whatever Krishna said. If you take Bhagavad Gita till this point, till this 10.11, Arjuna always asks questions to Krishna, and Krishna always replying the answer to Arjuna. It's not that Arjuna is not knowing anything. Arjuna is a pure devotee. Arjuna is asking all the questions for us only, the conditioned souls like us to understand. So till this time, Arjuna asks all the questions and Krishna gives the answers. But here, the very first time, Arjuna understands that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Now, Arjuna is going to reply back to, Supreme Lord about his own realization. That is what is in the 10.12 verse. So we will go back and read the verse one more time, and then, we will see in detail what that verse says. Param Arjuna's Uvacha. That means, Arjuna said, Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusam Sasvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. So this is what Arjuna's reply is. Now we will dissect this verse, each and every word, and we will see in detail what Arjuna said. Very first one, take this. Param Brahma. Arjuna is saying, Krishna, after hearing all these things, Krishna, you are Param Brahma. What is that Param Brahma? Param Brahma means, now Arjuna saying that I understand that you are Param Brahma, but what is Param Brahma? Param Brahma means, the Supreme Personality of Godhead or absolute truth. Now you should note the word here. Arjuna says Krishna as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whenever we say, he has a good personality or she has a good personality, when we say this, whenever we are seeing the person in the complete personal form. So what Arjuna says here, Krishna, you are the Supreme Personality. Param means Supreme. Brahma means, you are a Supreme Personality of Godhead, or you are the absolute truth. That means, Arjuna very clearly saying that, Krishna has form here, personal form. That's what Arjuna is saying, very clearly saying that. Okay, but, Mayavati, they say that, Krishna is the Supreme Lord is in formless. But Arjuna clearly says that, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means Krishna has form. The absolute has form. The absolute truth is in the personal form, not impersonal form. So Mayavati believes, when this is called that, when Mayavadi believes in the Brahman realization. What is Brahman realization? We will see that. Brahman means individual spirit soul. You are a spirit soul, I am the spirit soul. We have heard this word all the time. You are Brahman, I am Brahman. That means what? You also have an individual spirit soul, I also have individual spirit soul. So when you realize that, the individual spirit soul, and that is, when you realize that, the Brahman, that is spirit soul, that is Brahman realization. And this one, when that Mayavadi says that, this soul merges with the Brahma Jyoti. That means, Lord's soul, they are claiming that, these two merges, and then they will become one. That means, everyone will become God. That's Mayavadi's philosophy. That's called Brahman realization. But in Vaishnava, we say that, in Krishna consciousness, we say that, individual souls never, living entity, my soul and Krishna souls never merges into one, and never, because we maintain our individuality here in this material world, also in the spiritual world. So here, after this, there are two more things. Paramatma realization. That is, local realization. That is what? Paramatma realization. Paramatma is what? Super soul, which is in my heart. We call that as a Paramatma realization. And then, with the Bhagavan realization. The Bhagavan realization is, when we realize the Supreme Lord in personal form, that is what? Bhagavan realization. But, when I read all these things, all these days, I was getting confused, which is Paramatma realization, Bhagavan realization, Brahman realization. I really wanted to give one analogy here. We can better understand these terms. Most of the devotees are here, senior devotees. They may not need this, but some of them, new. So I just wanted to give this analogy for them. And also I have given this analogy in different classes also. So now you think that Satyasara Prabhu is giving class in Zoom. And Satyasara Prabhu, not turned on the video. Only audio is coming. So when you hear that class, Satyasara Prabhu class, of course, you understand what Satyasara Prabhu is giving the class, and you will have some, satisfaction from that class, attending that class. Satyasara Prabhu never turned on the video, only the audio. That audio is what? Sound energy. It's Satyasara Prabhu's one type of energy, sound energy. So when you attend that sound energy, the class, Bhagavad Gita class, and you realize something, that's what it is. In the spiritual world, when we say Brahman realization, just a second, I will turn on my video. It automatically goes out. Sorry. Yeah. When Satyasara Prabhu gives class, you are, without turning on the video, you are attending the class by your ear and hearing the sound energy, and you are taking some realization. That is Brahman realization. In the spiritual concept also, what they are saying, when you merge, your soul, when you merge into the Krishna's one type of energy, that, the Brahma Jyoti is nothing but Krishna's energy. It's effulgent. It's a fire, kind of a fireball. So when you merge with that, when you realize that fireball, Krishna's energy, that is what Brahman realization. So when you realize Krishna's energy form, that is Brahman realization. As if you are realizing Satyasara Prabhu in audio form. That's what it is. Now we go back to the same example again. Satyasara Prabhu now turning on the video. So when he turned on the video and giving class, it is Satyasara Prabhu. Of course, it is not true Satyasara Prabhu yet. It is Satyasara Prabhu's another form, digital form. But this digital form comes to your local level, your computer, your home, everywhere. It comes everywhere. So this is called Paramatma realization. In the spiritual world, it says, Paramatma realization is super soul. Where the super soul is there, it is in our heart. But, it is everywhere. It's pervasive. Super soul. So it is in our heart also. But when the super soul is sitting in my local body, in my heart, then when I realize that, that is called Paramatma realization. But still, the super soul is not in the personal form, but in some form. I'll clearly explain what is super soul in few weeks back when we explained 10.8. In the 10.8 class, from Mahavishnu, all the material universes came out. For Mahavishnu is nothing but Karnodaksha Vishnu. From the Karnodaksha, all the material universes came out. When each and every universes in a material universes, Karnodaksha Vishnu expands and becomes, Karbodaksha Vishnu and entering into the every individual universe. When Brahma, creates this body for the soul. So every living entity, you assume, you clearly know that, the living entity soul also came from Mahavishnu. So when Brahma creates a body for this soul, and, now Karbodaksha Vishnu expands as Shirodaksha Vishnu. This Shirodaksha Vishnu is nothing but super soul, which comes and sits in our heart, and it pervasive, it is there in everywhere. So this is what the Shirodaksha Vishnu is, the Paramatma realization, but he is not in the personal form. It is some form of God, Lord Krishna. So like, Satyasara Prabhu, the digital form, the video form is not real Satyasara Prabhu, but the digital imaginary form of Satyasara Prabhu. So you can, when you see Satyasara Prabhu and attend the classes with seeing the video form, you will realize the concepts better, you will understand the things better, and you will get more satisfaction when you seeing the Satyasara Prabhu over the video form. Now we will go to the next level, Bhagavan Realization. Bhagavan Realization means what? Now Satyasara Prabhu is calling everyone to come to the temple or his home to attend the classes. You are going and meeting Satyasara Prabhu, in person. When you go and meet you are liking people, I'm saying, if you are meeting your relatives at the marriage, or if you are meeting your friend after a long time, you have lot of enjoyment. You feel that inside your heart. So this is called Bhagavan Realization. When in the spiritual world also, what they are saying is, when you realize Krishna in personal form, in Krishna's face, Krishna's legs, Krishna's everything, when you realize that, that is called Bhagavan Realization. So, but when you are going and seeing, when you are realizing Krishna in personal form, you get eternal bliss. That's what it is, a blissful, eternal happiness. So you get more enjoyment, like, how you are meeting, as I said, how you are meeting your relative, how you are meeting your Satyasara Prabhu is there. You are going and meeting Satyasara Prabhu in person, and you are giving hug to Satyasara Prabhu, taking blessings from Satyasara Prabhu directly. So you will get lot of happiness. Exactly like that. When you meet, when you realize Supreme Lord in person, in the personal form, you will get lot of happiness, eternal happiness. This is what Paramatma, the Brahman realization is the energy form of Krishna. Paramatma realization is the localized form, Shirodakshina form of Krishna. And the Bhagavan realization is the ultimate form, in the personal form. This is the absolute truth. This is the no other things beyond this. So when you are realizing Krishna, that means what? You need to realize Krishna in personal form. This is what Krishna consciousness says. But Mayavadi says, they are saying that, Brahman realization, that is the energy form, is enough for them. And they are denying that, Paramatma realization and the Bhagavan realization is not there at all. That's what they claim. But, that's fine. If someone is attending the class newly in Satyasara Prabhu class, Satyasara Prabhu did not turn on the video, only giving the class in the audio form, and the person coming and back and coming to you and say that, Satyasara Prabhu means, only the audio, not he does not have any form or anything. What do you give reply to them? This is a simple concept. No, you will say that, no, Satyasara Prabhu has some form. I know where he lives, and I know he has legs and eyes and everything. And he comes once in a while in a video form, Paramatma form, like localized form also. So that's how we understand all these things, Brahman realization, Paramatma. Now, also, so Mayavadis, they realize only the energy form. They deny that, Paramatma and Bhagavan realization, where the Brahmavadi fit into it. So this concept, this word also, you often hear it, Brahmavadi. Brahmavadi, somehow they read other books also. They read all these things and they read other books and they gain knowledge about Krishna. Like, Satyasara Prabhu is giving the audio from our Brahmavadis also. Some people, only attend the audio classes, but, they will read other books about Satyasara and they'll come to know about Satyasara Prabhu. Oh, they say that, yeah, I know Satyasara Prabhu. He lives in Pearson Place and he has this kind of form. And he comes once in a while, he comes in the video form also. I heard of it, but I never, attended those kind of things. But we are very happy with the audio form itself. So the Brahmavadi and the Mayavadi is, Mayavadi always says, just a second, I'll turn on the video. It automatically goes out. I don't know what's happening. So Brahmavadi and the Mayavadi, the major difference is, Mayavadi says, there is no Paramatma realization. There is no Bhagavan realization. This is what Mayavadi claims. But Brahmavadi claims, they agree that there are the Paramatma realization and the Bhagavan realization. But we are happy with, Brahman realization. We believe that, this is the highest form of realization. That's what Brahmavadi claims. So the Mayavadi and the Brahmavadi, they deny that, two form of realization, but they agree that Brahmavadi, they agree the two form of realization, but they are happy with, the, energy form of realization is the best one. So that's all these things. So now clearly Arjuna clearly says here, Krishna, you are Param Brahma. Param Brahma means, you are Supreme Personality of Godhead. You have a personal form and everything. This is Krishna, the Arjuna clearly says here. And then we go to the next word, Param Dhamma. Arjuna says, you are Krishna, you are Param Dhamma. What is that Param Dhamma? Param Dhamma. Dhamma, Param means, I already told, supreme. Dhamma means, in which everything rests or abode or everything resides. That is called Dhamma. Dhamma means everything resides. So that is Param. So Dhamma means everything resides. Param Dhamma means, everything resides. You are the supreme, shelter. You can say that, shelter. Krishna is the supreme shelter, or Krishna is the supreme abode. So you are shelter for everything. So we are resting. We are, the living entity is resting here. The material world, everything, we are resting. Practically, each and everything in the universe or anything. So everything, rests in Krishna. That's why Arjuna is saying, Krishna, you are Param Dhamma. You are the one holding everything. You are the one making the residence for everyone. That's what Arjuna says. We know that, innumerable planets, the material universes came out from Mahavishnu's body. Mahavishnu is what? Who is Mahavishnu? Mahavishnu is the incarnation of, what? Supreme Lord. So we know that. So everything where it rests, obviously in Krishna only. So even we are seeing the sun, it gives the energy. Sun is what? The imitation of Brahmajyoti. Brahmajyoti is what? Brahmajyoti is the energy form of Krishna only. So where everything resides? Everything resides in Krishna. That's why Arjuna is saying, Krishna, you are Paramdhama. You are the one holding everything. So Paramdhama means what? Everything resting on Krishna. Now the third word we are seeing that, Pavitram. Now Arjuna says, Krishna, you are Pavitram. Pavitram means what? You are purest. Pavitram means purest. Krishna, you are the purest. Because why? We are all contaminated by the material, energy. So Krishna is, purest form. God is purest. Unless if we want to see God, what we need to do? We also need to get the purity level. Then only we can see Krishna. Some people claim that. Often you may get this question from others. They say that, oh, you are saying that God exists. Can you show me the God? No, God exists in the purest form. Are you pure? No, you are not pure. Your eyes are having defective. All your senses are having defect. How can you see God, which is in the purest form? What do you need to do? You need to be purified. How do you get purified? Read Bhagavad Gita, attend the classes and everything. So you will purify your material senses to, when the material senses become spiritualist senses, then you will also get the purest form. And that level only, you can understand Krishna. So this is what in the Brahmas, it is stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sheto Vrata. That means, our occupation, our vritti should be very clear in order to understand Krishna, because Krishna is in the purest form. So Seto Vritti and the Sadhu Sangha. So in order to, if you want to become pure, if you want to be purified, what do you need to do? The best, simplest thing, you need to associate with people, those who have like-minded people, those who are already in the self-realization path, those who are getting purified. So this is what we are doing now. We are gathering and we are getting the knowledge about Krishna. So these kind of things, you should do that to get purified. This Sadhu Sangha is, we need to associate with the people, like-minded people. So this path is what? Spiritual perfection. The path is a realization, spiritual perfection. We must take our association with such association. So Pavitram, and also the Pavitra means what? Purest. Purest means what? Uncontaminated. So already we said that, we are also Brahman. We are also individual spirit soul. Yes, we are spirit soul, but we are covered by Maya. We are covered by this material energy, but Krishna is not. So in order to understand Krishna, we have to remove this, covering. That's what we need to. So in Brahma Samhita 5.1 verse says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananta Vigraha. So Satchidananta Vigraha means what? Krishna is full of knowledge, full of bliss, it is eternal. So that means, if Krishna is in that stage, how can you understand with the defective material eyes and, senses? You need to be purified. So you need to take a spiritual path and purify yourself. That is what it says. Wherever, some places, it defined that, Krishna is formless. No, we are understanding in wrong sense. Yes, of course, Krishna is formless. Formless means what? He is not in the material form. He is in the spiritual form. That's how we should take it. It's not like, when we read that Krishna is formless, no, it's not. Formless means he is not having material form. He is in the spiritual form. This is what that, the third word says. So Pavitram, and also Pavitram means what? You are above the three modes of material nature. Above the three modes of material nature. So in Krishna says, Bhagavad Gita 9.2, Rajavitya Rajaguyam Pavitram. So here the Pavitram means very pure, unless otherwise we are purified, we cannot be free from these four miserable conditions. What are the four miserable conditions? You already know that. Birth, old age, disease, and death. Unless we are purified, we will not get free from this material entanglement. So but the spirits, of course, the soul is spiritual, but it is covered by this Maya. That's what here it is saying. Because we are parts and parcel of Krishna, so we are also pure. We are also pure. We are parts and parcel, because the spirit soul is part and parcel of Krishna. But our soul is, covered by Maya. That's what it is. So the another analogy they always give, the fragment of gold is always also gold. The fragment of gold is also gold, but sometimes the gold is, mixed with something else, contaminated. So we need to purify that gold. We need to remove the contaminated part, and then the gold will become a pure gold. That's how we can remove that, we can add some chemicals and other things to remove that or wash. That's what we need to do. We need to take a spiritual bath, reading Bhagavad Gita, all those things. So our soul will be purified and we can see Krishna in, personal form. That's what it is. So now the third one is, so far we have seen Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram. And the third one is Paramam Bhavan. Paramam Bhavan means, Arjuna says, you are the supreme. You are the greatest of all living beings in the entire cosmic manifestation. It is self-explanation. I don't need to go and give much more explanation for this particular point. Paramam Bhagavan means, you are the supreme. You are the greatest. No one is greater than you. That's what, Arjuna says here. You are great. You are supreme of greatest of all living beings in the entire cosmetic manifestation. So that's what Paramam Bhavan means. Now we will see the another important quality. The Arjuna says, you are the Purusham. Purusham means what? Purusham means enjoyer, supreme enjoyer. So Arjuna says, you are the supreme enjoyer. How come Krishna is the supreme enjoyer? Although, I am doing my work and I am getting enjoyment. How come, Arjuna can say that, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. So what is the meaning of this? In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8.8, verse says, although the living entities belong to the marginal energy of the Supreme Lord, they are in material contaminations. If we think that, ourselves, we are enjoyer, but we are not the supreme enjoyer. Here, Arjuna clearly says that, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer because Krishna enjoys. How he enjoys? He comes in a different, preliminary expansions. Krishna sometimes comes directly also as a, but, his expansion, Narayana, Vasudeva, everything. So still, I'm not able to understand how can you say that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer and I am not. So whatever the enjoyment we are getting it here, we say that, oh, beautiful lake, what a sunset, what a moon, the moon, like, moody cloud, all those things. We see that and we are seeing this material world, everything, nature, and we call that as a nature. Wow, what a nature it is. I'm seeing beautiful flowers, all those things. We see that nature, we say that nature and we enjoy that nature, but we forgot to ask, whose nature is this? Is this my nature? Or is it your nature? Or your forefather nature? No, it is Krishna's nature. So who is the supreme enjoyer of this nature? Krishna only. Say, for example, you are seeing the apple garden and you are going and, taking apple from the tree and eating it. Of course, it is giving taste. So you are enjoying it. But who is the owner of the apple garden? Somebody. He is the owner. So who is the supreme enjoyer of that garden? That guy. Like that, Krishna, from Krishna, everything came and we are enjoying. We are enjoying, but, this is coming to kind of a limited basis. But Krishna is the supreme enjoyer of everything. That's why Arjuna says, you are the Purusham. So that Purusham means, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. So we saw this Pavitram and we will see the next one, Paramam. What is the, we saw the Purusham. Sorry, we are going to see Shaswatam. We often heard this word. Material world is Dukkalayam Ashaswatam. What is that meaning? Dukkalayam Ashaswatam means material world is full of misery, sufferings only. And Ashaswatam, it's a temporary. That's what I always say. It is temporary and it is, also full of misery. But Arjuna says here, you are Saswatam. That's the opposite of Asaswatam. Asaswatam means temporary. Saswatam means permanent, eternal. That is what Arjuna is referring. Krishna, you are eternal. You are not, temporary, like material living bodies. We are temporary, but Krishna is what? Eternal. That's what here Arjuna is saying. Krishna, you are Saswatam. We are part and parcel of Supreme. But, The body is, we are also eternal. The spirit soul is eternal, but not the body. Body is, temporary. The spirit soul is eternal. Krishna also eternal, and we are also eternal. But the spirit soul is eternal. But we are here, because the spirit soul is going to take another birth, another birth, another birth. Once, why the spirit soul is eternal? Because it is part and parcel of Krishna. The body is not part and parcel of Krishna. Brahma created this. So if you want to have eternal, you also want to have a Sasvatam, then you go back to Godhead and you will have eternal life. That's what it is. And then this word, what it says, Divyam. What is Divyam? Divyam means, it is a very important one. Divyam means transcendental. It is not ordinary. So transcendental means what? It's just like, not ordinary things. It's a beyond the ordinary thing. So in Bhagavad Gita 4.9, Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam. That means Krishna very clearly says here, my activities and my coming down to this material world is transcendental. So no one should mistake that, Krishna coming here as as with a temporary body or anything, even though he looks like us, he is not. Arjuna very clearly says that, you are transcendental, you are divyam, you are beyond this material modes. So those who are in divyam are transcendental, they do not belong to the, so what is the advantage of, we can also be in the divyam, transcendental position. We can go beyond the three modes of material nature. So what is the advantage? How do we identify one is in divya mode, transcendental mode? If one who is in divya mode, they are, they are not affected by these dualities. Dualities, but happiness, sorrow, seeing the Brahmana in one level and the dog is on another level. No, they won't see that. They always see that, everybody has a part and parcel of Krishna. So that is what the Divyam is. If you are in Divyam, you will see everyone as equal, and you will not affected by this dualities. That's what Divyam means. So Arjuna says, you are Divyam. So anyone understand this Divyam fact, and that we need to understand one important thing here. So Krishna is in Divyam. That means what? The knowledge comes from Krishna. How knowledge is coming from Krishna? Through Bhagavad Gita books. So we need to, so the Bhagavad Gita book is also, none other than Krishna. Bhagavad Gita book is also none other than Krishna. And the energy form of Krishna is also Krishna. And whatever, Krishna is not different from anything which is connected with Krishna. That is Divyam. So we need to understand that. Divyam means the platform where God can be understood. So only you can understand God in Divya mode. That means transcendental mode. So Arjuna clearly says here, Krishna, you are Divyam. The one who is going beyond that, that is called transcendental platform. If I go to transcendental platform, that is called Suddha Tattva. In Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.1, Krishna says like, Lord Rishabhadeva instructed, his disciples, my dear boys, you engage yourself in tapasya. Now, one may ask the questions, what kind of tapasya? Even Hiranyakasipu did tapasya, great tapasya. And he approached Brahma to get the immortal form for himself, for his own benefit. He did not do the tapasya to understand Supreme Lord. But Rishabhadev, what Rishabhadev says to his disciples, do the tapasya, but do the tapasya for what? Tapotivyam. Tapotivyam means, do the tapasya for to understand God, to realize you. So just to perform tapasya for realizing Krishna. So that is what it is. You can also do other kind of tapasyas to get the benefits you want. No, that is not the great thing. What we need to do, we need to do tapasya to understand that Lord. That's what we need to understand here. So Arjuna clearly says, you are Divyam, you are transcendental. You are not ordinary human beings or anything. You are different level. So that's what. Then that this word it says, Adi Devam. What is that Adi Devam? Adi Devam meaning Krishna is, Arjuna says, Krishna, you are the original, primordial Lord. This indicates Lord Krishna is the origin of all demigods, and also Lord Krishna is the origin of all the Vishnu expansions. So we have seen, we know that, several Devadas, Indra, Surya Dev, anyone, all demigods, and also we know that, the expansions, Mahavishnu, like, Karnodaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Sirodaksha Vishnu, or, even the Balarama, everybody, all of them are one. But who is the source? Who is the original? Who is the Adi Devam? First one, Krishna is the Adi Devam. That's what Arjuna clearly says here. You are Adi Devam. Adi Devam means, for all the Devadas, you are the master. You are the beginning. You are, that's what it says. In Bhagavad Gita 10.2, chapter 10, verse 2, Krishna himself says, Agam Adirhi Devanam. What is the meaning of that? I am the source of demigods and sages. So Krishna very clearly says in 10.2, that is what Arjuna is, replying here. You are the Adi Devam, Adi Devam. And then so we have seen this word. Now we will see the last but one. Aham, Aja or Ajam, anything you can call. Ajam, Aja, so we call that, Aja. Ajam or Aja, both are the same. Ajam means, Arjuna addresses Krishna as Ajam or Aja. That means, Aja means, who does not take birth or unborn. Who does not take birth or unborn. So Krishna never take birth. Krishna is, unborn. That's what Arjuna says here. Krishna, you are unborn. But people in Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, verse 3, Krishna clearly says, Yomam Ajam Anadim Cha. What does that meaning of it? He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he only unduled among men. He is freed from all sins. This is exactly what Krishna says in 10.3. So one who understands that I am unborn, or I have no beginning, then only those are the people can get knowledge about me and they can come back to me. Clearly says. This is clearly says. But sometimes people ask, oh no, in Mahabharata, Krishna came as a child born for the Devaki womb. No, Krishna did not come. In Srimad Bhagavatam clearly says that Krishna initially came as a 400 Vishnu form. As per the request of Devaki and Vasudeva, he becomes an ordinary child. Like he transformed into their womb as an ordinary child and they came. But Krishna never came as a now human being or material form. That's why, he is in a always, he may looks like a material body kind of thing, but he is in a spiritual form only. That's what we need to understand from this. So Krishna, Arjuna says, you are Aja. Aja means, you are not, you are unborn. That's very clearly Arjuna says. Then the last one on this verse, Vibhum. What is that? So Arjuna addresses Krishna as Vibhu. Vibhu means the supreme. Supreme, what? The greatest of everything. If one says, I am the greatest person. No. Krishna is the greatest. Anybody, I'm the biggest person, Krishna will become bigger than him. If one says, I am the smallest one, Krishna will become smallest than him. Or even the atom particle, Anu. So, so Krishna is, that's why Arjuna addresses Krishna as, you are a Vibhu. Vibhu means, you are the greatest. You can become a smallest of smallest or greatest of great. So, but we cannot, we are smallest only. We cannot become greatest. So we are, living entities are smallest, but Krishna is, greatest. This is what Arjuna says, Krishna, you are Vibhu. So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, verse 15, it says, the Supreme Lord, who is full of unlimited knowledge, richness, strength, fame, beauty, and renunciation. So the Lord is always satisfied in himself, undisturbed by sinful or pious activities like us. So we are, if you say that, one person is richest person, but Krishna has all the opulences. So nobody can compare with Krishna. That's why Arjuna says, you are the greatest. You are the Vibhu. That's, Arjuna says. So this whole verse we have talked about. Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Sasvatam, Divyam, Adidevam, Ajam Vibhum. So we have seen each and every word dissected, and Arjuna clearly understand. This is what Arjuna's realization about Krishna after hearing all this, till that time, 10.12 verse, Bhagavad Gita asked Arjuna asked all the questions and everything, and Arjuna's, realization giving back to Krishna. So we also should do the same thing. So we should completely take Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, again in the personal form only, not in the energy form. Of course, energy form also from Krishna only. We need to realize that, but we need to go beyond that. Paramatma Realization, Bhagavan Realization. So all these things Arjuna says to Krishna. But this second verse, I don't have much time to talk about the second verse, but I will talk about what this verse says in a few couple of sentences. So one may think that Arjuna is, Krishna's well-known friend. That's why Arjuna is, praising Krishna like this. Yeah, we will also do sometimes. If one of our friend is, little stronger than us, we always call him as, oh, you are a Bhima. If he is doing little donation charity, we call him as, he is a Karna Prabhu. He is a Karna. So one may think that, since Arjuna is friend of Krishna, Arjuna is flattering Krishna like this. No, that's what the second verse says. Arjuna clearly says, it is not that I am saying. Before me, the great sages, you might see that in the second verse, this is called Deva Rishi. We should read that. Deva Rishi means, the sages of all the demigods, like who? Narada. And other great sages, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, everyone said about that, the same thing. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So this is what we need to understand from this. It's not that Arjuna is flattering Krishna here, but Arjuna is, true realization, because in the any Kena Upanishad or Muntaka Upanishad, any Upanishad you take, all the Vedas you take, everything, is accepting that, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. If you are really understanding Krishna, that means you are really understanding the Vedas. That's all. That's very simple as it is. If you want to understand Krishna, just understand the Vedas. That's all. So in order to understand Vedas, you start with the chanting and everything. I will end with this class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much, devotees. If I misspoke anything, or if I hurt any of your feelings, I'm truly sorry. I'm no apologies for everything. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Satyarupa Kauranga Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. That's a wonderful lecture. Devotees, if you have any questions, please raise your hand so that I'll hand over the mic. Or anyone online, please raise your hand if you have any questions. Please don't give any compliments or glorification. If you have anything such, you can send over a message to Prabhu directly. In the interest of time, we'll take a couple of questions only. If you have anyone have any question on today's class or anything? Devotees in the temple hall or devotees in online? Okay. If no questions, then we will conclude this Sunday Feast lecture. Thank you, Prabhu. That's a wonderful lecture. It is really enlightening us. And the way you have described the word to word, it's wonderful. Thank you once again, Prabhu. So we're all moving on to the next part of our program, Arati. Today, Arati going to done by Sarveshri Mataji and Arati Kirtan by Samanvita. Please stand up.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namo. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Panchadya Desatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama राम राम हरे हरे
जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा
जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा
जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
निताय गौर हरि बोल
हरि बोल
हरि बोल
हरि बोल
निताय गौर हरि बोल
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
Quickly, we'll have Jayadvani prayers. 1 minute. Okay. Okay. Please offer your obeisances. We'll quickly do pranam prayers. जय नित्य लीला प्रभुयादिक ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाजिकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरस्य श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रीला एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरस्य श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन गो की वृंदावन धाम की मधुरा धाम की नवद्वीप धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगामय की यमुनामय की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की संकीर्तन यज्ञ की बृहद मृदंगा की सामवेद भक्तिवृंद की गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to assembled devotees all glories to assembled devotees all glories to assembled devotees all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna. We'll have Narsimha Arati.
Namaste Namaste Narasimhaya
Namaste Narasimhaya Prasadam
Hiranyakashipu Purvakshaha Silatankana Kalaye
Kalaye
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha
Ito Narasimha Para by Prabhu yesterday night.
Yato Yami Tato Narsimha
Ito Yato Yami Tato Narasimha
Bahir Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha
Bahir Narasimha Hridaye Narasimha
Narasimha Madem शरणं प्रपद्ये
नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये
तव कर कमलवरे नाका अद्भुत शृङ्गा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवत्रिता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
Hare Krishna Center.
7 to 8, right?
7 to 8,
Okay.
Wednesday. Then 8:30 to 10:30, Satyasara Prabhu's house.
8:30 to 10, no?
10:30, Satyasara Prabhu's house.
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय जय महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय जय प्रभुपाद
प्रभुपाद
प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, प्रहलाद महाराज की। Hare Krishna devotees. Anyone here for the first time to the temple, Hare Krishna temple of Austin? Want to introduce Mataji? Okay. You are the first time? Yeah, you can introduce yourself, how you came to know this temple and all.
Okay, yeah. I've come with Mukul Prabhu here, and he's my cousin. I'm coming from Dallas, so we are just visiting and came here. So thank you for your.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Any other devotee?
I'm Madhusudan. I'm here. I here live in Avery Ranch. It's been like 2.5 years. I never been here. Ram Karan, who's my guru, he has brought me here with the blessings of Krishna. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for inviting him. Thank you for connecting him to Krishna. Yeah. Whoever connects the Krishna, they will be like Pragjyotisha Guru. He is the introductory Guru, Prabhu. Yeah, so you are Guru to him, who is connecting back to Krishna. Anyone new here for the first time? Anyone else? Okay, we are for the first timers. We have a gift. Please meet me, Prabhu, after Prasadam. So, few announcements. We had one birthday in the last week. Nitesh Prabhu, he's our known member to our congregation. Let us chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times for his benefit. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are very excited to announce that His Grace Radha Shyam Prabhu will be visiting Austin on May 31st. So 31st May, Tuesday, at the temple, we have 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. teens and youth class is there. And 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Bhagavad Gita class is there. Prabhu is senior Vaishnava and temple president of Pune. Please take his association. Please take some of your personal time and try to attend this. And on 1st June, Wednesday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Srimad Bhagavatam class at Hare Krishna Center, 10,700 John Wood Way, Austin, Texas. And 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. a special Srimad Bhagavatam class at Satyasara Prabhu's house, which is 16,025 Jeffs Lane, Austin, Texas. If you want to talk to him, Radha Shyam Prabhu, personally, you can go and meet him. So it is like Ishtagoshti kind of thing, Srimad Bhagavatam class, and if you want to have any questions, or you can meet him. So requesting everyone to join the session either at temple or via Zoom. Please invite your family and friends. Hare Krishna. Quickly we will have Prasadam Prayers. After that we will have Prasadam. Dhriti will do Prasadam Prayers.
Mahaprasade Govinde, Namo Brahmane Vaishnave, Salpa Punyavatam Rajam, Vishvachone Vijayate, Sharira Vityaja, Jyotindehe Taheka, Jive Fale Vishaya Sagare, Paramatma Jivati, Lobo Moy Siddharmati, Take Jita Katina Samsare, Krishna Bharadoya Moy, Kori Bhare Jiva Joy, Swaprasadana Dilopai, Sayanamrita Pao, Shri Radha Krishna Gunagao, Premeta Koshri Chaitanya Nitai, Jaini Ma Jainitar, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shiva Sadikar Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Mahaprasadam ki.
Thank you, Dhruti. Devotees, please form a line there.